pass. Let the lobbies open. Let the lobbies open. Message from Lok Sabha Secretary General.
Sir, with your kind permission, I rise to report that the Lok Sabha at its sitting held on 6th April 2022 passed the Weapons of Mass Destruction and Their Delivery Systems Prohibition of Unlawful Activities Amendment Bill 2022. I lay a copy of the said bill on the table.
Thank you. Now special mentions, Shri Jawahar Sarkar ji. Please. माननीय सदस्यगण स्पेशल मेंशन हो रहा है. प्लीज हाउस.
I take it as late, sir.
प्लीज ले. थैंक यू. आप पढ़ दें.
A statement.
किसको देना है?
10-15 गांधी स्टैच्यू.
ये ले कर दिया हूँ. श्री फूलो देवी नेताम एसोसिएट.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, एनबीसीसी द्वारा घटिया निर्माण कार्य से पीड़ित सेवानिवृत्त कर्मचारी को न्याय दिलाने के संबंध में मैं ले करती हूँ.
थैंक यू.
धन्यवाद.
श्री संजय राउत जी. माननीय संजय राउत जी, प्लीज. हाँ, माइक प्लीज, माइक. हाँ, it's on.
I am laying the special mention regarding need to establish fast track development tribunal in the country.
Thank you. Susmita Dev ji, please.
Sir, are we allowed to read or?
Yes, you can read.
Can I? Yes. Text updation of National Register of Citizens was conducted in Assam under the supervision of the Supreme Court. A draft NRC was published on 30th July 2018, leaving out 40,70,707 persons as ineligible for inclusion. Wide order dated 13th August 2019, the Supreme Court directed the NRC coordinator to set up a security regime for NRC biometric data as per Aadhaar regime. On 31st August 2019, a final list of NRC was released. 21 lakh people were included and about 19 lakh were left out, sir. The biometrics have been withheld of about 26 lakh people, including those whose names appeared in the NRC final draft list, citing the modalities. Clause 9 of the said modalities state that once the final NRC has been published, persons who are included in it will be given an Aadhaar number as citizens. However, that has not happened on the grounds that the process of claims and objections have to be completed, which can take a long time. As a consequence, lakhs of people are deprived of basic amenities connected to Aadhaar, even though they are not declared as foreigners, depriving them from their fundamental right of life, livelihood, education, and prevents access to government schemes requiring mandatory Aadhaar registration. The court has stated that no coercive action shall be taken against the people left out of the NRC until final notification. The central government should take steps either in court or other legislative action to release the biometric data and remove this anomaly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Susmita ji. माननीय सदस्यगण, अगर आपकी अनुमति हो तो फौजिया खान जी को कुछ आवश्यक काम से बाहर जाना है, तो उन्हें पहले मैं पढ़ने की इजाजत दे दूं. फौजिया जी.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir. I would like to throw light onto the growing issue of a relatively untapped disability, which is the learning disability. Learning disabilities constitute a heterogeneous group of disorders of which the center impairment is cognitive processing. While there has been no macro-level study to estimate the prevalence of such learning disabilities amongst children, multiple independent studies calculate the range of its occurrence between 10 and 12% of the school-going population. Roughly, this translates into at least 4 children in a classroom with learning disabilities. This issue gets further complicated due to the lack of teacher awareness, of clear-cut assessment procedures, or indigenous tools for assessment of processing deficits, intelligence testing, and testing for proficiency in reading and writing. Having said that, Learning disability being relatively newly recognized in India, there are still no clear-cut and commonly accepted assessment procedures, policies, or indigenous tools to diagnose LD in India. And if not addressed, we stand to lose out on a significant chunk of the literate population from the future productive workforce of the country. Hence, the government needs to formulate a constructive policy in this regard under the ambit of the Mental Health Care Act, as well as an educational law must be brought in for this. This would ensure the much deprived support that could turn schools and educational institutions into inclusive and accessible spaces for all, sir.
Thank you
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Binay P. Sahasrabuddhe.
Particular subject as special mention on the table of the House, which is about developing a prudent ecosystem for e-sports, including legally permissible e-gaming. This has earlier also been mentioned over here, but I would like to draw the attention of the House to the fact that out of the 8 games that are medal sports in the Asian Games 2022, 2 are banned in India by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology due to data pilferage concerns. What is required is to have a more holistic outlook towards esports and gaming, and in that regard, there has to be some efforts on the part of the government to ensure that India's flag is represented and players are selected for these tournaments in fair and transparent manner. I request that wider consultations need to be held to develop a prudent esports ecosystem in India to further economic growth as well as job creations. Thank you.
Sri Muhammad Nadimul Haq ji.
Thank you, sir. My special mention is need to address the lags under the Jal Mission project. The Union government has set a target of 49 million households to provide pipe water connections under Jal Mission in financial year 2021-22. However, the government has been able to cover only 19.8 million households, which is far below the target. The pace of providing piped water connections in financial year 22-23 is also likely to drop by 60%, which is extremely concerning. Some states such as Uttar Pradesh are also lagging behind, where the state government has been able to provide hardly 6.5 lakh connections. Bengal, on the other hand, has outperformed all other states. It ranked first among all states in terms of providing tap water connections to households since November 2021. Bengal has provided tap water connection to approximately 23 lakh households in the current fiscal year and has set a target of providing tap water connections to 1,77 lakh families by 2024. Under its Jal Swapno project, Bengal can be a golden example of how the targets of providing water connections to all households can be achieved in an expedited manner without any lags. I urge the government to take steps to ensure that the work under the Jal Mission project is expedited to ensure that every household in a country has access to water.
Thank you, Nadimul. Honorable Sri M. Sanmugam.
Thank you, sir. I raise to this subject need to make permanent the services of doctors and healthcare workers employed on contract basis under the National Health Mission. Sir, since 2005, the National Health Mission, Rajya Swasthya Mission, is being run by the Government of India, in which the doctors are recruited on contract basis. As you know, during the COVID pandemic, the health facilities were in great demand, and these doctors and health workers engaged in a contract basis served the patients even under the adverse circumstances without worrying about their lives. Due to less number of COVID reported cases in various hospitals, orders are being issued to terminate the services of these contract doctors and health workers. Recently, many doctors, nurses and health workers engaged in various hospitals in Delhi like RML Hospital, Lady Harding Hospital, Rajkumari Amrit College of Nursing, have been terminated despite the labor dispute are pending in the labor tribunals. Thousands of doctors or health workers are in the street and staging dharna protests against the termination of these services, saviors who really saved the lives of lakhs and lakhs of people in the country in the worst COVID pandemic. I would therefore urge upon the Minister of Health and Family Welfare to honor the hard work of these doctors and health workers. Their services should be regularized and they should be given permanent jobs and on the respective posts so that the doctors-patients ratio could be improved in the country and the nation is ever prepared to face such challenges. Basic health facilities should reach the lowest rung of the society and you can make Ayushman Bharat scheme success. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shanmugam ji. माननीय अयोध्या रामी रेड्डी.
Thank you, sir. My special mention today is on awareness for importance of soil health. With the incessant rain and flash floods happening regularly along with climate changes, the top fertile soil and its nutrients are washed away, leaving the soils infertile without any proper nutrients. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, a third of world soil is now moderately to heavily degraded due to various reasons, including topsoil erosion and loss of essential nutrients. It is essential that we do everything to protect the soil, to keep it safe and fertile with essential nutrients and its quality intact. Around 12 million hectares of land are lost due to desertification every year. Climate change, spread of intensive agriculture, deforestation and industrial activities have accelerated the degradation of topsoil, affecting the quality of soils everywhere. Even the farming practices such as tilling and breakup of the soil destroys its natural structure, killing many of the vital bacteria and fungi that live there, which add value to the soil and its fertility. Soil is also a key to storing and preserving water and acts like a sponge that soaks up in rain and keeps the moisture and other essentials intact. Excessive use of pesticide and use of inorganic fertilizers can accumulate matter in the soil, affecting it and leave the soil in a very unhealthy way. I appeal to the government to help protect the soil of our agricultural lands by creating more awareness about the importance of soil health for our future generations. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ajodhya Rami Reddy ji. Honorable Sri Luigino Falero.
Thank you, sir. Demand for representation of ST community in the Goa Assembly. Goa comprises of 10.23% scheduled tribe population consisting of Gaudas, Kunbis and Velips. Even after 60 years of Goa's liberation, these members have been unable to find full and proper representation in the State Assembly of Goa. Gaudas, Kunbis and Velips were notified under Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe Amendment Act 2002 on 8 January 2003. Yet, 19 years pass, they are kept outside the Goa Assembly. This is a clear violation of Article 332 and Article 330 of our Constitution. I remember with nostalgia in 1980, I was privileged to lead the movement of Goa's scheduled tribes as president of Gauda Vikas Mandal. Even though I don't belong to this community, we fought for the reservation of professional colleges and in employment. Today, they have the reservation in panchayats, municipalities, Zila panchayats, except in the Goa Assembly. This step empowered the communities to live more dignified lives at par with other citizens of Goa. However, this progress has been left incomplete as these communities were not provided the due representation in the Goa Assembly. India is the world's largest democracy, and yet it is very sad that Gaudas, Kunbis and Velips are oppressed, suppressed and exploited socially, economically and politically. Even after 60 years of liberation of Goa, and 19 years after the declaration of India's scheduled tribes, first by the colonial powers and now due to lack of political representation. I urge the Government of India to end this hostile discrimination and provide proportional and equitable representation in the Goa Assembly as per mandate of the Constitution. Thank you.
श्रीमती छाया वर्मा।
महोदय, केंद्र सरकार द्वारा विभिन्न केंद्रीय योजनाओं के तहत कम राशि छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य को जारी की जा रही है। वर्ष 14-15 में जहां केंद्रीय योजनाओं के तहत 75% का अनुपात था, वहीं छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य को केंद्रीय योजनाओं के तहत 64 से लेकर 50% तक ही धनराशि जारी की जा रही है। इससे जहां 2014 में राज्य की तत्कालीन सरकार को 15% राशि केंद्रीय योजनाओं के तहत संपन्न होने वाले कार्यों पर अपने संसाधन से खर्च करना पड़ता था, वहीं अब वर्तमान राज्य सरकार को 36 से लेकर 50% तक की राशि अपने संसाधनों के तहत खर्च करना पड़ रहा है। मेरी मांग है कि केंद्र सरकार राष्ट्रीय बागवानी मिशन, प्रधानमंत्री ग्राम सड़क योजना, मनरेगा, इंदिरा आवास योजना, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, राजीव आवास योजना, राष्ट्रीय शहरी आजीविका मिशन, मध्याह्न भोजन कार्यक्रम, सर्व शिक्षा अभियान, राष्ट्रीय माध्यमिक शिक्षा अभियान, एकीकृत बाल विकास योजना और राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण पेयजल जल जीवन मिशन योजना के तहत केंद्र सरकार वर्ष 2014-15 की भांति केंद्रीय अंश की राशि 75% दे, न कि कम करके 50%। इस मानवीय विसंगति को छत्तीसगढ़ की जनता के हित में अविलंब दूर किया जाना चाहिए। धन्यवाद सर।
माननीय अनिल देसाई जी।
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, my subject is regarding scam of fake GST billing. Sir, there are media reports suggesting that in several states there are instances of creating of fake billing transactions worth of crores of rupees by unscrupulous and dummy business houses, traders, and draining several crores of rupees from the government coffers through fraudulent claims for input tax credit. This shows that there are still several loopholes in the GST system introduced by the government in July 2017. There are some basic lacunas in the system, and grant of GST registrations without any physical verification of the location of businesses is one of it. There is no office or establishment, but these dummy firms obtain GST registration numbers and submit fraudulent claim for credit. The fraudsters have floated multiple dummy firms, obtained GST registrations, issued fake GST invoices of GST without actual supply of goods and services, and passed on ineligible ITC, that is input tax credit accrued from the bogus invoices, to clients for a commission, who subsequently used it to make GST payments, causing losses to the government. In such a situation, government must consider the ways and means to stop this malpractice. Government should deploy more staff and offer incentives to detect such frauds and save government money from draining to these dummy firms and people. Thank you.
धन्यवाद अनिल जी। प्रोफेसर मनोज कुमार झा जी।
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, and must express my gratitude. My subject is demand to publish employment calendar, sir. The persistence of sizable unemployment in the midst of the rising poverty is a matter of concern for the country. This high unemployment needs to be seen in the context of vacant seats in public sector institutions, particularly the reserved seats. With government jobs being limited, high vacancy in view of outsourcing of jobs for substantive posts have created unrest among the applicants. It has been observed that the continuous backlog of vacancies is a continuing process in different departments and ministries. The lack of transparent and periodic data about employment goes against the spirit of active citizenship and democracy, sir. Hence, there is an urgent need to have current, accurate, and publicly available data about employment and vacancies in government departments. In this regard, the Ministry of Labour and Employment must collect information from every department, area, corporations about vacancies in a year and publish an employment calendar at the earliest. The employment calendar should also contain the estimates of the labour force, employment and unemployment on an annual basis in rural and urban areas, and for the two areas combined, at the national and state levels for the entire population. Thank you very much, sir.
धन्यवाद हाजी। डॉक्टर प्रशांत नंदा जी।
Thank you, sir. My subject is establishing marine police stations and 3 new cities. There is critical gap in the coastline of Odisha in the district of Baleswar. South of Balramgadi, Marine Police Station, and huge gap after Arakkuda Marine Police Station in coastal areas of Puri district. Hence, it is required to establish 1 marine police station each in Baleswar and Puri district. Accordingly, a proposal has been submitted to the Ministry of Home Affairs by letter number 432/CS dated 28/2016. Sanction of the government is yet to be received. There is no exclusive jetties for marine police in the state of Odisha. A proposal has been sent to the Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi, by letter number 309/CS dated 28/2015 for provision of additional funds of rupees 400 crore for construction of 3 jetties at Bhubaneswar in Baleswar district, Sipaseruvali in Puri district and Maluda in Khordha district along Odisha coast. Will the Government of India make provision for construction of 3 new jetties along Odisha coast? Government of Odisha have submitted a proposal to Ministry of Home Affairs, New Delhi, for establishment of a coastal security headquarters with modern control room in Bhubaneswar to monitor movements of boats in coastal area, including boats of marine police stations, by using GPS technology and modern communication facilities. I urge the Government of India to sanction the above proposal.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad Nanda ji. Srimati Mausam Noor ji.
Thank you, sir. So my special mention is on delay in dispersal of funds of Bengal. The West Bengal government has not received any money from central funds since 26 December 2021, in exception to the rule that MGNREGA funds should be dispersed after 15 days work. Rupees 1613.61 crore against 8 crore mandates have not been released by the center under MGNREGA. Bengal is currently rated second in the country in terms of mandates created under the 100-day job scheme and first in terms of workforce strength. Until 7th March, approximately 34 crore mandates have been created in the current fiscal year. In terms of workforce strength, the state stands first in the country, having managed to employ a total of 1,798,452 workers under this scheme. Moreover, the union government has given approval of rupees 645 crores in connection with Mission Nirmal Bangla, but no money has been released till date in the financial year 2021-2022. Similarly, 21-22. Similarly, 38.95 lakh families were determined eligible after 56.86 lakh families were registered under the Bangla Awas Yojana. However, Bengal did not receive the sanction despite the fact that 23 other states did. There is an urgent need to address the delays in disbursal of funds to Bengal government. In the past as well, there has been delays in clearing the dues of the state government by the union government. It is therefore imperative that the union government takes cognizance of the situation and immediately disperse the dues owed to the state. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. माननीय विश्वंभर प्रसाद निषाद जी.
थैंक यू सर. उपाध्यक्ष महोदय, उपसभापति महोदय, मैं विशेष उल्लेख के माध्यम से उत्तर प्रदेश के जनपद फतेहपुर बांदा राष्ट्रीय मार्ग के बीच कस्बों में बाईपास रोड बनाने हेतु रख रहा हूं. महोदय, आपका ध्यान अवलंबनीय लोकमत के विषय की तरफ दिलाना चाहता हूं. उत्तर प्रदेश के फतेहपुर बांदा बहराइच के राष्ट्रीय मार्ग वन मार्गों के कस्बा तिंदवारी, ललौली, शाह, गाजीपुर, बिंदकी कस्बा में घनी आबादी तथा बाजार होने के कारण आए दिन दुर्घटनाएं होती रहती हैं. कई घंटे रास्ते जाम रहते हैं. इसलिए उपरोक्त कस्बों में बाईपास रोड बनाना आवश्यक है. अतः सदन के माध्यम से मांग करता हूं कि उत्तर प्रदेश के फतेहपुर बांदा बहराइच के राष्ट्रीय मार्ग वन मार्गों के कस्बा तिंदवारी, ललौली, शाह, गाजीपुर, बिंदकी कस्बा में बाईपास रोड बनाने हेतु सरकार को निर्देश देने की कृपा करें. धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद. माननीय डेरिक जी.
Sir, thank you. Sir, you didn't allow us a discussion on price rise. Thank you for this. Sir, the special mention is on the need to address the delay in dispersal of Provident Fund for those with Portuguese origin names in Goa and the rest of India. So, owing to the computer programming, people are facing hardship redeeming their Provident Fund, and NEFT transfers are being refused by the EPFO. So the software actually is unable to process any name which has an apostrophe or a dash in it.
Please.
EPFO officials are now asking individuals to change their surnames in government-issued KYC documents such as Aadhaar, passport, and PF processing. So the names were accepted earlier in these documents, but now they are not. So asking to change such surnames, sir, is, you will agree, very unfair and illegal. Why should Indian citizens who have an apostrophe or a hyphen in their names be pressurized to change their names? Sir, this hurts citizens, especially the citizens of Goa. Let me tell you why. Because names with an apostrophe in their surnames, such as De Cruz, De Rosario, De Silva, De Gama, Desa, De Mello, these are common names, sir, especially from Salsette in South Goa. And there are many with these surnames who live across Goa, but especially in Nuvim, Fatorda, Kurturim, Margao, Naveli, Benauli, Velim, Kunkulam, no long list. Sir, besides these names of Portuguese descent, there is a microscopic community, sir, only few 100,000. The community I belong to, the Anglo-Indian community. So some of us also have, because of some European descent, someone's great-grandfather, Anglo, so those names also have apostrophes, like O'Connor, O'Donnell. Okay. Right. Similarly, there are certain double-barrel names. So, say Taylor Smith, or any name with a hyphen in it would be rejected, sir, by the EPFO. Asking Indian citizens to change their names because of a computer program, sir, is quite unnecessary. Sir, the government had promised us a seamless digital experience. The Home Minister gave us a half-an-hour speech on that, sir.
Please.
I urge the government to modify the EPFO software to accommodate all names with apostrophes and hyphens. No one should be deprived of their Provident Fund, and no one in the beautiful state of Goa must be humiliated. Thank you, sir.
Manya John Britas, absent. Honorable members, the House stands adjourned to meet at 11 hours on Thursday, the 7th April 2022.